Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to another race in the Mega Man 6 Any% tournament. My name is I Monkey. I'm going to be commentating on this race today between notriley and Kumba. It's basically a best of 3, so first to 2 potentially. You're going to see a minimum of 2 races here. Probably a max of 3 races between these guys if they get to 1-1. I think they're just about ready to go. And it looks like they have just started. So, if you're wondering who these runners are, we've got notriley4. He is a really good Mega Man 4 Any% runner. He's actually top 10 on the leaderboard for Mega Man 4. I believe he's still finding his way in Mega Man 6, but I did just pop into his stream before we started, and he appears to have 36 in the game, which is pretty impressive. I'm expecting him to do really well in this game once he starts putting some time into it. And he is racing against Kumba, who probably best known for his ROM hack racing abilities. Yeah, he doesn't just race ROM hacks, he runs them really well, really confidently. Got a lot of records in different ROM hacks, so see how he goes. He doesn't tend to play the traditional the traditional Capcom developed Mega Man games much. So interesting to see what he does. It looks like he has already deviated from the standard Mega Man 6 speedrun route. Typically, they're going to do win first, as you see notriley doing. Kumba's decided to do Night first, which is an interesting choice. I don't believe there's any one route which is much faster than the other, but typically you're going to see runners who win first because it's the least annoying rest of the fight. Ooh, and it did look like Kumba took an early death there on Nightman stage, so that'll put him a little bit behind. Yeah, as expected, Kumba's doing a little bit of an unorthodox route in the game, so it'll definitely be interesting to see if he shows us any interesting strats as he goes through the game. They've got notriley just doing quite a smooth Windman stage. We've got Kumba just entering the Lightman fight. You'll probably see an example now of why people typically don't run Night first in this game. It's quite a difficult buster-only fight. We'll see how he does here. Most of the time, you've got to be hitting him at very precise points during his jump, or you've got to get behind him and release your buster shot that way to be able to deal damage. Otherwise, the shield is block most of what he throws at you. Ooh, it's getting pretty close here. Kumba just about manages to clutch it out there. Well done to Kumba there, not taking another death. That would have put him really far behind. Meanwhile, we've got notriley making his way through his second stage. That's the Flame Man stage. For me, Flame Man stage is always one of those stages which I can say it's a really good test of where you are with your Mega Man 6 running ability at any one point in time. If you're able to do Flame Man stage smoothly, it's usually a good indicator of how you're going to perform in the rest of the run. As you can see, notriley had pretty good Flame Man stage there, no major mistakes. They've got Kumba doing his second stage, which is Centaur in the Night's First route. One of the great things about Mega Man 6 is there's not necessarily a single way to get through a lot of these stages. There's a lot of different strats you can utilize. So you can see him switching to Night quite late on in this stage compared to most runners. A lot of runners will switch to Night on the first screen. Kumba's chosen to switch to it a little bit later on. That's fine too, it's not really that much of a time loss compared to switching to it on the first screen. That screen he just went through there, that's quite a scary screen where the monster is bent on you. Quite a common place to lose runs, so good that he got through that without dying. But he's just got a few more screens now before he comes up to Centaur Man. Got notriley about halfway through this man stage at this point. He's just switching to flame in the screen to try and reduce as much lag as possible from these enemies. And we'll see if notriley can get better on this screen here. So if he's able to get through the screen without waiting for the submarine to do an extra cycle, that's what we call better. If he's not able to do it on this occasion, 2 extra hits than he was expecting. That's fine though, it's only about 1.5 time lost there. Ooh, we've got another clutch fight from Kumba on Centaur Man there, he's just about getting through it with 1 health. So, GG there. If Kumba, we'll see if notriley does bomb skip. I don't think he would in a great situation. It's possible to get through those bombs that you just saw explode there without waiting for them to explode. But it's completely sub-pixel dependent. So it's essentially a coin toss as to whether you get through that screen without dying or not, if you don't wait for the bombs to explode. So notriley did the right thing there. Just took a slightly slower route to ensure he didn't die. Ooh, he's got another really close fight though with Blizzard Man. He'll need 1 more charged hit, and he just about gets it as well, so good work from notriley there. It's pretty evenly matched at this point, I don't think there's too much time between them. It is a little bit difficult to assess when they're doing different routes. But we should see them sync up after the first 8 Robot Masters. Ooh, Kumba just took a death in that screen there. It's not too bad because... oh, I was going to say it's not too bad in the checkpoint room. That was actually his last life, so he does unfortunately go back to the start of the stage. That's a little bit unfortunate for Kumba there, but he's doing pretty well considering the fact he's probably not put that much time into this game. I would bet. We're seeing a lot of interesting scraps from him, but he's generally performing quite well here, as you'd expect from someone who runs so many different ROM hacks. He's able to apply his Mega Man gameplay that he picked up from other ROM hacks, and just apply it to Mega Man 6 quite easily. We've got notriley coming up to quite a tricky screen in Plant Man stage. It's definitely one of the screens in this stage that has most potential for a death, and it looks like Kumba took another death of his own there. So, and another one. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Please don't take too many more. But yeah, notriley making his way through the spring section of Plant Man stage. So you can do that screen as well a couple of different ways. You can either stay on Flame Man's weapon, which is more difficult, before you can switch to Buster. So you can see notriley, he's obviously doing the more advanced strat. Stayed on Playman's weapon for the entirety of that screen. There's also a possibility to manipulate the Plant Man boss fight, which notriley didn't manage to get there. His stream is just frozen for me. I don't know if that's just on my side. Like start going again. But there is a possibility to manipulate that plant fight to ensure he doesn't throw up his barrier within a couple of seconds, as he usually would. Didn't look like notriley got it on that occasion, but again, it's not that much of a time lost. It's one of the more advanced strats that is quite difficult to pull off. He is safely through the 4 stages at this point, entering his 5th Robot Master. And Kumba is lost count of how many stages Kumba has done at this point. I think that is his 3rd Robot Master, but we'll find out shortly. Yeah, so Kumba is about 1 Robot Master behind at the stage. He's killed 3. Riley has killed 4. We'll see what happens. It's definitely a very tricky speedrun, Mega Man 6. With the potential to die in pretty much every stage, in a number of different places, depending on the type of strat you're employing. So, yeah, notriley can't get too relaxed at this point. He's still got to be on top of the game. Had quite a clean run through Tomahawk Man stage so far. First thing I'd say, Tomahawk Man stage is one of those which you typically don't see people having major issues with. There's not that many points in the stage which you can mess up on or die, so he should be okay here. And I don't know if it's Riley's stream or if it's my side, but I can't actually see what's going on with him. I can see Kumba still making his way through Flame Man stage currently. He's doing a pretty good job so far. So hopefully we can get Riley's stream back up again. Yeah, that's good. So it looks like we've got him back. And looks like he's had a very close brush with Tomahawk Man there. He's just about got through 1 HP. Yeah, second time we've seen him just about straight through a Robot Master. Good glitching out ability there by notriley. Meanwhile, we're seeing Kumba just tackling the Flame Man fight. It's one of the easier 8 Robot Masters in Mega Man 6. Hasn't had any major issues there, so good. You've seen notriley there just getting through the first stream of Yamato Man. He's taken it a little bit more safe, I guess you can say, compared to how most speedrunners do that screen. There's a possibility of getting sniped by one of those nuclear robots if you're trying to do it too quickly. So you just took it a little bit more safety first to ensure you can die, which is a good approach in a race. So you're going to see on notriley's screen here, he's actually got 2 different route options, which is quite a unique thing about Mega Man 6 when you're looking at the Mega Man games. You need to either go up, which is what he's just done, also take the bottom route, which is another way to get to the same Robot Master. So it's an interesting spin, I guess, on the traditional Mega Man formula at this point. Obviously in Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they're generally quite linear. Not many ways to get from beginning to end. So Mega Man 6 did mix it up a bit with the alternative routes in some of these stages. From a speedrun perspective, it doesn't have that much of an impact because you're generally going to see most speedrunners take the same route, whether it's up route or bottom route. But it is interesting from a casual perspective. It's obviously if you beat a game, you beat a stage doing one particular route, so you can just try the opposite one next time you run through the stage. A bit of variation. Yeah, you can see notriley there just finishing up his sixth robot master, so he's got 2 left, which is Nightman and Sentinelman. See if Kumba does the bomb skip. I've got a feeling he may do it. Ooh, he doesn't go for it. He's possibly just trying to limit the number of deaths at this point, since he's taken a few, so probably a sensible call to make. If you see on notriley's screen here, he's coming up to quite a interesting section. Going to be a spiked ceiling, which is dropping down. If he pauses at the right point, or if he takes damage at the right point, he's going to avoid being crushed by the spiked ceiling. So you can see he very precisely timed that damage boost there, just to ensure he didn't take a death. So well done to him for not taking a death at that point. This is another stage here, which or another section which Riley is doing at the moment, which has a few different options. You can either take Jet at this point, or you can just stay on Yamato Spear. Very close in time, it just really depends on runner preference whether you want to use Rush Jet or not. We did choose to use Rush Jet just before. Makes a couple of those screens a little bit less scary if you've got Rush Jet equipped. Kumba just trying to get a few ladder jumps there. You can actually glitch the ladders in this game where you kind of stand on the bottom couple of rungs and you can jump up to a higher part of the ladder if you land on the right pixel. You don't tend to see speedrunners do that in their runs, really, because I don't think it saves that much time. But it's a cool little trick which you saw Kumba pull off there. See how Kumba tackles the next couple of screens in Plant Man, because it is definitely one of those sections which has a very real ability to lose a life on. Just smashes down that gorilla tank. Like I say, you can either stay on Playman in the screen which Kumba's on now, or you can switch to Buster just for a safer way through. Yeah, so Kumba just tried to do it the quick way by not changing to Buster there, and he unfortunately just paid the price for it. Yeah, and a little bit unfortunate with where he's lost his last life, because he's now gone back to the start of the stage, whereas he'd actually got past the checkpoint there, so a little bit unfortunate. notriley looked to have attempted a miracle jump, squeezed under that enemy that was just above the pit. Just failed to do so, but he got it the second time, so not too much of a time loss. One of the good things about taking deaths in Mega Man 6 is you respawn pretty quickly compared to the other NES Mega Man games. I think if you timed it from the time you take your death to the time you respawn, it's only about 4 or 5 seconds, I believe, whereas in some of the earlier Mega Man games it's more like 8 or 9 seconds. So you don't get punished as much in this game for dying as you do in some of the other Mega Man games. We'll just see if Kumba's able to get through this section on his second attempt. Yeah, so you can see here he is opting to switch to Buster. There's no shame in doing that at all. So I have run this game in the past, I got a 35 in Mega Man 6, and I still use Buster on this section here. I don't use Flame. Oh, well, I was expecting Kumba to just stay on Buster for the duration of that screen, but he utilises Sentinel Flash there in quite an interesting way. Just getting past the end of that stage. That was a nice little strat there. For the strat which you just saw Kumba pull off, it wouldn't usually be possible for most speedrunners in this speedrun, because you usually don't have Centaur Flash on Plant Man stage, but because of the right first route which he's taken, he did actually have the option to utilise that. As we've just seen notriley exit the 8 robos with a 1945, I believe that was. Pretty good going to get that sort of time, considering he's died once or twice. If you're able to get past the Robot Masters in around 19 minutes, 30 seconds, it usually means you're on track for roughly a 36-minute time, depending on how the rest of the game goes, of course. I believe Kumba is a couple of Robot Masters behind at this point. But like I say, there's a lot of difficult sections in the X stages and the Riley stages for notriley to get through. That screen you've just seen him go through there, that is one of the more difficult screens in this level, or it's at least one of the more death-heavy screens, I guess you could call it, when you see speedrunners run the game. So he's able to get past that and smash that window in a fairly optimal way. Can do it quicker, but he's taken the safe option to not risk dying to that spike ceiling. He's able to get through it without dying. As you saw there, notriley just picked up a bunch of extra lives, so that should help him from game overing. If he does run into any spots where he dies a lot in the coming stages. Didn't quite get the optimal fight on the X1 boss there for notriley, but again, it's not too much of a time loss, probably only half a second slower than the optimal kill. So we're seeing Kumba just come up to the last screen of Tomahawk Man stage before he fights the boss. A little bit of trouble there, but fortunately, because he was in iframes, he landed on the spike, didn't take death. I'd probably say keep an eye on Kumba's fight at this point with Tomahawk Man, because he's quite low on health. You've got to be careful he doesn't take too many unintentional hits from him. Well played, Kumba. He had enough health to take 2 hits. Well, he could only take 1 hit before he died, so yeah, he only took 1 hit. Really good going from Kumba there. Notriley's had a relatively smooth run through X2. Just coming up to a boss now, which I would say is quite a frustrating boss to face in this speedrun. There's definitely some RNG which can really mess you up, especially if you're on good pace for a speedrun. So he didn't have too bad of a fight with him just then. He only missed a couple of Tomahawk hits. There's definitely occasions where you can give him much worse patterns, so yeah, I think that's when he should just be thankful he's got through without losing too much Tomahawk ammo. Kumba is making his way through his last Robot Master stage in Yamato Man. He's just got to the checkpoint screen in that level. We'll see if he takes the up or down route. He does take the top route. Most speedrunners would take the top route anyway. I just thought Kumba might try something a little bit unorthodox there and take the bottom route. Notriley is making his way through a little tricky section in X3. Stage you see him going through at the moment, it's very rush jet orientated. You'll be on rush jet for the majority of the stage. Currently on but we'll switch back to rush jet in a moment. Quite scary as well for that reason, because generally when you're on rush jet in this stage and you take damage unintentionally, it'll usually result in a death. So hopefully that doesn't happen here with Riley. Last enemy there, you can sometimes get sniped just trying to get across the last gap. Unfortunately, managed to avoid taking any damage. They've got Kumba just coming out with his last Robot Master. Looks like he had a 2450, 2455. It looks like he's about 5 minutes behind the stage roughly. He's still got potential to get sub 45 time, but like I said earlier, it totally depends on how the X stages and the Wily stages open. So we've got the final X stage coming up for Notriley. Again, quite a scary stage because there's a lot of hits which you can fall into, a lot of spike sections which can instantly kill you. Kumba's going through quite a difficult screen at the moment. Get through it without dying, that's the main thing. We'll see what Kumba tries now. You can do a really quick strat where you just smash the window first try. Yeah, so he just tries to do the safer window smash route through that screen. Doesn't quite get it, but hopefully he will be able to get it the next time round. He does. So, well done, Kumba. And Notriley's just got past the checkpoint screen in X4, about halfway through the stage. Kumba there having a little bit of trouble with the Mega Man 6 weapon menu, which, yeah, it's quite interesting with how it works. A lot of the time you press direction, attempting to go one way on the menu, expecting it to go left or go right. It doesn't do that, so yeah, even the weapon menu is learning in this game. Notriley is facing the infamous Dr. X. Don't have Wily in the game. Is a really close fight here. Oh, I lied, we do have Wily. So Dr. X was Wily all along. You would have thought it. So now we've got Riley going into the last part of the game here. It's a bit disappointed we didn't see the fail D message from Wily there. It's quite an infamous typo on the US version of the game. You've got Notriley now. He's coming up to one of, if not the most annoying bosses in all of NES Mega Man games. So the boss is Mechasaurus. I don't think there's many Mega Man runners who actually enjoy fighting this guy. He's got a very small hitbox. You have to target to deal damage to him, and it doesn't stay in one place. Even though the sprite does stay in one place. So you'll see what I mean shortly, but you can hit the exact same parts of Mechasaurus twice in a row, one of the shots may connect, the other one may not. It entirely depends on what the game wants to happen at any point in time. Definitely a section where you can either get through and just continue on your way without losing too much time, but if you have bad luck, I've had runs where I've lost 5-10 seconds easily on this fight. We'll see how it goes for Riley. For the first couple of shots, we have managed to connect. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. A few shots he missed there, but like I say, it's very rare where you're going to see a fight where every single spear connects. He still seems to have enough ammo for the rest of the game, so that's good. Meanwhile, we see Kumber tackling one of those other annoying bosses that we saw Riley face earlier. Again, it's kind of similar to Mechasaurus in the sense that you can easily lose a lot of weapon ammo on this fight if you're not careful. You may have to take an extra Tomahawk recoil later on if you miss too many shots. Looked like Kumber had a pretty good fight though, so we should be okay on ammo. Not Riley, just midway through the end of Wily 2. It's got one of the nicer boss fights now coming up. It's basically just a very slow-moving tank that doesn't really have much in the way of defense to make you worried about dying at all. It's just got a little bubble that he shoots out at you. A pellet that he shoots from his turret. So Not Riley makes short work of him, and he moves on to refights. He's on Not Riley. He's on pretty good pace at the moment. If he has no more major errors, should be on target for a 36, more or less 36-30, somewhere around that point. I believe Not Riley's PB is a 36-22. If you guys want to keep an eye out to see if he can beat that time, that potentially be a new PB for him. Ooh, it does look like Kumber just took a unfortunate death on X3 there. Like I say, it's a very tricky stage. There's a lot of points we can easily die on it. Yeah, he was just a little bit slow with his side cancel there. Wasn't quite able to save it by switching to jet. Doesn't go too far back. I'm hoping the fact he's got those extra lives in X1 should mean that he's still got a few left. He shouldn't be at risk of the game over, hopefully. Meanwhile, we can see Not Riley just about halfway through the refight at this point. The refights in Mega Man 6 are not too painful. There's some other Mega Man games, such as Mega Man 4, that have a lot more boss RNG compared to this game. If anyone is familiar with Drill Man in Mega Man 4, you'll know exactly what I mean by bosses that have a lot of RNG. You don't really have that in Mega Man 6, to that degree at least. There's definitely bad patterns you can get with some of these bosses, but you're not likely to lose 5-10 seconds fighting any of these bosses, really. So, Sentinel Man fight, which Not Riley is on now, that is definitely a boss which can give you bad RNG. We don't want him to teleport too much. If he gives you one teleport, you don't mind, because that's fairly average. Any more than that, and you're going to lose a lot more time than you'd like. Looked like he did run out of my ammo there, so we had to finish him off first, which wasn't ideal. Got to switch to Yamato to kill Nightman. He's given him quite a good pattern here, because Nightman, he can potentially jump around a lot and make it hard for your spears to connect. Didn't jump at all there, so that's the best possible pattern for notriley. I'll see if notriley's able to get the plant manipulation on this refight here. Yeah, it looks like he got it. So you can see here, Plant Man is running around without his barrier quite a while there. Whereas in normal circumstances, like you just saw, he'll re-barrier within about 2 seconds. So, good go in by notriley, able to get that minute. Kumba's just got a little bit of a tricky section to navigate. Again, if you get hit at the wrong point where Kumba is now, it can easily result in a death. So hopefully you can get through it okay, which it does. We'll see if you use this flame or the power suits here, because you've got 2 different options. Power suit is generally safer. You can get a little bit of a quick kill if you push the flame, but it's a more difficult fight. You can see there you just use Wily as a punching ball, essentially, knocking him back and forth with the power suit, which is definitely a fight. Keep an eye on notriley's screen there, you can see the famous typo, fail B. Not sure how that's past quality assurance. Anyway, notriley is just finishing up his run now. 3 different phases on this Wily fight. First 2 fairly similar. Just Wily jumping back and forth in his machine. I don't know what you want to call it. More rapid castle, I suppose. The one danger of this fight is you can potentially run out of tomahawk and you've got to finish the fight off in a different way. I think notriley is okay. He needs to watch his health, just make sure he doesn't take an intentional death. Ooh, so he has run out of ammo there. The usual backup is to switch to Knight, but he didn't have any of that. I'd usually go to the Jet if you run out of Knight as well, so he's not going to go to Buster. And GG to notriley, finishing with a 36-51. Pretty good time there. You've got Kumba, who is actually taking a different route through Wily 1 at this point. I believe he was trying to take the traditional speedrunning route, but he actually activated his jet a little bit too late there, and he's been forced into taking the bottom route. So he's also just coming up to every Mega Man 6 speedrunner's favourite boss fight now, Mechasaurus. We'll see how he chooses to tackle it. You can potentially do the fight with Power Suit instead of Yamato Spear. Most runners are going to do Yamato Spear, much quicker option. There's a couple of different ways to actually do the fight. You can actually jump in front of Mechasaurus' head and get right into his hitbox, which takes up randomness. Very difficult to do though. So yeah, most runners still just use the platforms rising to fire their spears instead. That's the approach Kumba takes. And he's able to get him down. He may be a little bit low on ammo. Just about got there. Yeah, GG to notriley there. I believe his PB on the Mega Man RTA leaderboard is a 37 flat. But like I say, I popped into the stream earlier and he had a 36-22 split. I'm not sure if this is the PB or not. I don't think it is. But nonetheless, 36, it's a pretty decent race time, considering the pressure you're under during a race, and fact you only have one go at it, more or less. So, good going from Riley. Now, see how Umber finishes up the sprint. He's got a couple of stages left for himself. Going through a very laggy screen at the moment. For some reason, the combination of these enemies and the wind, mini tornadoes which it fires out, just creates a lot of sprite lag if you're going through that screen. Can easily cause you to just mess up your input and fall into one of those gaps there. Unfortunately, Kumba doesn't do that on this occasion, and he gets a nice easy fight with his troubles. So this part of the refight, which Kumba's going through now, you may not be able to tell from watching the runners play this part of the game, but those enemies which Kumba just took a hit off there, they're actually stucking you in on a cycle. So sometimes they are pulling you in, sometimes they're not. So you've got to take a very precise route through the stage, through that screen, just to ensure you're kind of using fans in the right way. And yeah, if you take any unintentional damage from them, it can mess with your plans for how you were going to navigate the screen. But the main thing is not dying on that section to get into the refights. And it is just about to do now. I've noticed it's got 2 lives there, so even if he dies at this point, he just respawns in that capsule room there, which you just saw him leave. So it's not too much of a hit because at this point. Got to be careful with his health a little bit on these fights because he doesn't have any E-tanks left. And there's a few boss fights where you can come close to dying if you don't time your movement correctly. Like I say, most of these boss fights you see in Mega Man 6, they're not too bad. You're not going to see that much variation in these bosses that can cause you to lose a ton of time. There's just small little things that each boss, like a certain pattern which Tomahawk Man, for example, can do, which just cause a little bit of extra sprite lag than the other pattern. So if he does that 3 bullets shot, which he doesn't really do there, that creates more game lag than the other pattern he does. So just small little RNG things like that which can influence how quickly you get through the stage as a whole. This fight, the Windman refight when the I first of all was better because you've got exact weapon ammo to kill Windman. You've got to be really careful you don't fire off your Sentinel Flash too early, otherwise you've got to switch to another weapon to kill him off. Kumba timed that really well, didn't end up wasting any Centaur ammo whatsoever. And like I said earlier, you'll just be hoping at this point that you just get too many teleports from the Centaur. He's given him a really bad pattern here. 3 teleports, which is probably about as bad as you can get with that fight. We'll see if he's got enough Yamato here to kill Nightman. I think he was quite low after the Mechadorus fight. Ooh. So he had exact ammo, but he last shot there, so he's got to switch to something else to finish him. You can go with the power suit. See how he chooses to tackle Plant Man now. Little fact for you guys, most of the, or should I say all of the Robot Masters in Mega Man 6, they only have one hard weakness. When I say hard weakness, that means one weapon that does 4 damage to them. Plant Man's got 2 different weaknesses. He's got one hard weakness that does 4 damage. He's also got a soft weakness which does 3 or 2 damage, I can't remember. But it's plain, so you do have different options for Plant Man if you want to take a different option to kill him. Yeah, Kumpa's just getting through 3 fights now. A low or a high 44 split. It seems to be on track for around about 46 rate time. Again, that just depends on what happens with the Wily fight now. So, I didn't quite see what happened there, but I think he paused at the wrong point, so he wasn't able to get the extra comical camo he was trying to get there. It's going to be a bit lower on comical camo than he otherwise would have been. So we might wait to see what Eddie gives him, which he does choose to do, and Eddie does play ball to him, gives him what he wants. See how he does with this fight. So he nails that first shot the second cycle there, causing Wily some damage, but he's refilling his capsule, so very accurate from Kumba. 3 shots from that cycle, which did get caught with certain hands from Wily, and yeah, GG Kumba, 46-19, going. So these guys do have another race coming up now. Like I say, it's the first 2 that's going to get through to the next round. GG's to both runners. We'll see if they're ready to go for another one. And thanks to everyone for turning up for this race. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Actually got 3 different Mega Man 6 races tonight. So anyone who's into Mega Man or Mega Man 6, there's a lot of gameplay coming up for you. More or less after the end of this one, same channel, SpeedGaming 2, we have, I believe, Tempest Mask. He is facing up against Asnel, a Japanese runner. That'll be interesting to see how those guys do. Then later on we have, I believe it's our first round 2 match between Mr. Cab and Missing Brain. That'll be a really close match when those 2 get started. But yeah, this match was due to start at 6 PM EST. I think we were a little bit late on that. I think the next match will start at 8 PM EST, like to be on this channel. Then we've got another match at 10 PM EST, which is on Game 3. You guys want to ensure you don't miss any of them. Guys, just taking a very quick break between races. Or we may be getting set up for the second one. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I'll let you guys know as soon as we've got the countdown started. It looks like the guys are ready to go for their second race. Should get a countdown in a few moments' time. Okay, so we got the 15-second countdown coming up now, so it should be starting shortly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the races are going again. So good luck to them both. Hopefully they're both able to improve on their first race times. If Kumba chooses to go with Knight first again, and that might just be how he plays the game. I haven't seen him play it online or offline, obviously, so I don't know if he does usually do Knight first, or if he was just trying something a bit different there. So Kumba does choose to go with Knight first again, so I guess it's just the routes he favours in Mega Man 6. Took a few deaths in Knight on his previous run, so see if he can get off to a more comfortable start this time round. Like I say, the screen he's on now, it's very tight if you try and do the quick strats, so it can be safer to just wait for that ceiling to descend or to go up before you start trying to make your way under it. So yeah, Kumba managed to get through that screen without dying. notriley got to check the screen for Windman. Just saw Kumba do another little ladder jump there. I'm actually not even sure how you do those ladder jumps, so and I've run this game for quite a long time, so GG to Kumba for figuring out how to do those. notriley's just making his way through the last real screen of Windman. Windman versus fight, it's pretty straightforward. And it's the main reason why most runners are going to choose to win first as opposed to Knight first or Flame first, because they have a lot more difficult cluster-only fights. Whereas you can see with Windman here, all he does really is just let you in. Kind of similar to what Magnet Man does in Mega Man 3, actually. Yeah, it's quite an easy cluster-only fight, and notriley gets through without making any mistakes. 218 wins for him. That's good going. On the other hand, I see Kumba having to be really precise with his first shots here. He is getting low on health. He's got to be really careful with the last few shots. And one more shot. Yes, he did it. Well done to Kumba, not dying there. Wasn't sure if he was going to do that because he was on really low health for the last 4 or 5 card shots he had to land on Nightman. So you can see notriley going through Flayman stage now. It's one of my favourite stages to practice because, like I said earlier, if you're able to do Flayman stage relatively smoothly without making too many mistakes, you just know you're ready for the rest of the game. is it's a very technical stage. It really tests pretty much every aspect of your Mega Man 6 gameplay. A lot of slide cancelling. Got to do combinations of charge shots and mashing, and a lot of precise sliding and a lot of precise movement. So yeah, it's a really good indication of where you are with Mega Man 6 movement at any given point in time. Goomba's just got a tricky screen now. Checkpoint screens, but not too bad if you do mess up here. But if you are doing it the quick way, you definitely risk taking a slight death on that screen. He takes it a safe way, just to ensure he doesn't take a death, and gets through it without too many problems. You'll see towards the end of the stage that Goomba is just coming up to you now. You can actually take a top boss gate or a bottom boss gate into Central Man fights. You'll see the players go for the bottom gate, but there is another category which we're not running today called 100%, and you can actually get Mega Man's little bird companion Beat if you collect all the Beat letters. And if you take the top boss gate, goes to the bottom one, which speedrunners do in any percent, and you get one of the letters that you need to beat. Fortunately, Beat is totally useless in the Mega Man 6 speedrun. There is a minor use for him in the 100% run. But yeah, it's not like Mega Man 5 where Beat does have a lot of use even in the speedrun, unfortunately. We'll see how notriley gets through the butter screen right now. If you can get through without an extra cycle on the submarine. Yeah, it doesn't quite make it. He makes it to the last little pocket of air, I guess you could call it. Or he would otherwise have taken a spike ceiling death. So that's a safe way to approach it, really, but you can get through it without having to wait to fall on the submarine if you are quick enough. Again, he's not risking bomb skip. Like I mentioned earlier, you can use something called bomb skip, which lets you get through that screen about 3 seconds quicker. It's entirely dependent on a sub-pixel. And yeah, if you don't get a sub-pixel, you've lost about half the stage, essentially. The equivalent of about a minute on your run. So, not expecting any runners to try and do that in these races. Goomba's just making it past the checkpoint in Windman stage. It is interesting to see the Night Burst speedrun, because you get to see runners utilise the weapons in different ways, like the Central Flash in Plant-Man stage earlier from Goomba. This time he's using Nightman's weapon to take down Pandas a bit quicker. Riley, we have him. Oh, so Goomba take an unfortunate death there. So that's quite a painful one. Last possible gap he could have fallen in on the stage. He managed to find it, unfortunately. Hopefully he can make the time up later on in the game. But yeah, notriley, he's just coming towards the spring section in Plant-Man stage. Like I say, it kind of eases you in on the first couple of spring sections. There's no pits you can fall into. But as soon as you see him kill this mini-boss, you get to the part where you've got springs interspersed with lots of little pits which you can fall into. So this is one of the more difficult screens in Mega Man 6, especially if you choose to stay on Flame, which Riley does. Generally, if you're going to die on this screen, you'd have died towards the start of that section where you're bouncing across the springs. So he was able to time his jumps really well, not take a death. Kumba had a nice, easy fight against Windman with the Centaur Flash. I've just seen notriley get another Plant Man manip, where he's able to make him run around without his barrier for an extended period of time. So it's nice and accurate for him. I think Riley is on pretty good pace at the moment. 9:34, that's pretty decent going. Definitely potential for a 35 with this type of pace. If anyone's curious, for comparison's sake, Mega Man 6 has got a world record of 33 minutes and 34 seconds, I believe, by Popot. You need to keep in mind, Popot, he has played the game for years, probably 7 or 8 years at least. So, yeah, to get that type of time in this game, you need to put in a lot of work, essentially. I'd argue it's one of the more difficult Mega Man NES speedruns, just because the sliding mechanics in this are totally different to the other Mega Man games. Whereas in Mega Man 3, 4, and 5, you can jump out of your slides whenever you're sliding, which obviously you do all the time in the speedrun, just to go as quickly as possible. In Mega Man 6, you can't jump out of any of your slides. You may not even be noticing that with these guys, because they've got pretty smooth movement. But if you do want to jump out of a slide, you've got to do something called a slide cancel first. So you can either slide cancel tapping in the opposite direction to where Mega Man is sliding. That'll stop him sliding and allow you to jump. Or you can press the A button and Mega Man will just stop where he is, and again, you can just jump after that. But yeah, with the best runners, you can't really tell that they are even slide cancelling, because their movement will be that smooth. But it's an extra little aspect to the game which you don't have to worry about in Mega Man 3, 4, and 5, but it does bring an entirely new dimension to the speedrun Mega Man 6. I think it's also one of the reasons why Mega Man 6 is quite a polarizing speedrun. You see people that absolutely hate the Mega Man 6 speedrun just because of the fact you've got to slide cancel everywhere if you want to jump out of your slide. And to be honest, I was in that brigade when I started speedrunning this game as well. I just thought, why did the developers choose to go down this route? Why didn't they just make the slides the same as Mega Man 3, 4, and 5? But I think after a while you just kind of appreciate the difference, and it just makes the speedrun so unique. And it's an extra little thing which, you know, it just really sets the good runners from the average runners. Yeah, while I was on my little monologue there, it looked like notriley did unfortunately take a death right at the start of Yamato Man. Yeah, like I say, it wasn't too costly because it was on the first screen, and like I said earlier, if you take a death in Mega Man 6, it doesn't lose you too much time. You can respawn within about 5 seconds, so it's not too bad. He does have the lead over Kumba as well at this point, so he can afford to take little deaths like that. So we're just seeing notriley switch to Jet to take the top route in Yamato Man. Ooh, so Kumba actually tried the bomb skip on that occasion, which, as I've alluded to a bit, is a bit insane to go for in a race. But I think he just did it for you guys, I think. Unfortunately didn't pay off, and he ended up taking a death for it. But yeah, it's always cool to see if someone can nail bomb skip and just save those extra few seconds at the end of Blizzard Man stage. We'll see if he's stubborn and tries to do it again, or if he just takes a safe route and just waits for the timed bombs to go off. But he tried it again, and unfortunately, same outcome. And that was his last life as well, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. I was hoping he wouldn't call it quits there. Fortunately, he does choose to continue with the run, which is nice to see, because we get to see the rest of his strats. So, notriley, he's going through this spiked section of Nightman, just coming up now. Like I said, if you're able to take damage at the right point, you can avoid a spike death from the ceiling. He does that to perfection. Kumba unfortunately takes a death on the checkpoint screen on Blizzard Man stage. Which is, it's very easy to take a death there. I mean, I've done it loads of times. You've got the ice physics, just mixed with the fact you're trying to slide on quite a small bit of ice, which just makes sliding into those spikes quite likely. Nice little reverse D-boost from notriley there, just to get through that screen a little bit quicker. Nice, so Kumba actually got the bomb skip on his third attempt. So, decided to keep going for it, and in the end, persistence paid off. The game decided to let him have the sub-pixel, and he was able to get through that section. Notriley going through the bouncy castle section of Nightman stage. And if anyone was watching Kumba's fight with Nightman earlier, if you just compare notriley's fight with Kumba's fight, you'll see why people don't tend to do Knight first. It's just because this fight is so much easier. It's probably one of the easiest Robot Master fights in the game when you have Yamato Spear. It just completely penetrates his armor and his shield, so you don't have to be careful at all with your aim, whereas you have to be really precise if you're trying to kill him with Buster. Kumba's just going for all the ladder jumps. Ooh, not sure if I'd recommend going for it there because of that enemy. In the end, he just mashes him down and moves on. Notriley, see if he can do the miracle jump, which he does. He's able to get into that enemy without taking damage and without falling into the underwater pit. Now, we'll see what Kumba does on this long screen coming up now. Obviously, on the last attempt, we saw him try and do it with Flame to start off with, then he took a death and switched to Buster. We'll see if he does something similar this time and just goes with Flame first, or if he tries to go the safer option and just goes to Buster straight away. I've got a feeling he's just going to stay on Flame at this point. No, he proved me wrong. He does switch to Buster. Might have been influenced by his flame ammo as well, because he was running quite low on weapon energy there. Notriley going through the checkpoint screen of Centaur Man. Again, depending on how you do this screen, you can really come close to dying. Ooh. He almost did die, and he was trying to be careful there, so yeah, it's one of those screens which you can easily just end up taking a death on if you just kind of lose your momentum. But yeah, he did well not to die. It wouldn't have been a massive time loss, but still, you just want to avoid dying whenever you can, of course, especially in a race situation. I feel as if I may have missed a death on Notriley's side because he's definitely a bit behind where I'd expect him to be at this point. So he may have taken a death a little bit earlier in the stage, which I missed. Yeah, it looks like he's still going to be coming out of Centaur Man stage with maybe a mid-20 time on the splits, which isn't too bad. It's still possible to get 36, 37 with that sort of pace. Umber mashing his way through the first screen of Tomahawk Man. That is actually one of the mash heaviest sections of Mega Man 6, the first screen of Tomahawk Man. There's not that many sections of the game where you will be mashing, but that is definitely one of them. Kumba gets the ladder jump again. Doesn't wait to see what Eddie gives him, chooses to just carry on. We'll see how Notriley tackles X1 now. There's definitely a few screens in X1 where you can easily just end up hitting the spikes when you're not really intending to. Yeah, so he does take damage from him, but gets across the screen reasonably okay. See if he goes with the quick window smash here. Okay, so he does choose to take it slightly safer. Always the best option in a race. And you'll see a nice little batch of 1-ups that Notriley is just about to collect, which is almost guaranteeing the fact he won't game over in the rest of this game now, with that many 1-ups at his disposal. Kumba just took a death from Tomahawk Man there. He does have some plant barrier left, so he could utilise that. Looks like he's going to go with the Buster to start off with. And he's choosing to finish the fight with Power Suit, which is interesting. Oh, now he's utilising the rest of his plant barrier. Ooh, so he's left him on 1 HP. And he just about gets him there before Tomahawk Man kills him. So interesting mix of strats there to take down Tomahawk Man. Yeah, Kumba is not in the lead at this point. He is about 5 minutes behind where Notriley is, I believe. I've just tried switching over to notriley's audio. Hopefully that has worked for you guys. Notriley's really low on health here. He may just take a death, which he chooses to do. The death's not too painful in this game, even in terms of where the checkpoints are positioned. As you can see there, he does get to start at the boss door. There's some entries in the Mega Man series where even a death on a boss won't spawn you at their boss gate. For instance, in Mega Man 4, if you die on the castle stages, you don't start at the boss gate, you go a lot further back in the stage. Mega Man 6, you don't have that issue. So yeah, I think notriley at this point, he probably is past the point of being able to get PB. Obviously that's pretty unlikely in a race situation anyway. But yeah, I don't think he is able to do that, so he's just gonna make sure he wins the race, I believe. Hopefully you guys can hear me again. I've actually just lost internet temporarily in my house, which is very unexpected, doesn't usually happen. Especially at this time. Actually, almost past midnight where I am, so if you do lose internet, it's not likely to be at this time. I'm not too sure what happened there. Apologies to you guys and the racers for that happening. Hopefully I am back, and hopefully you guys can hear me. So where are we with this race? So it looks like Kumba is just finishing up X1. Looking at notriley's screen, he is on X4, so he's got, I think he's about 2.5 stages ahead at this point. So yeah, notriley, he's just getting past the checkpoint room in X4. Very tricky screen here to do quickly. Screen with the cowboy robots, I'm not sure what they're called actually, but yeah, those cowboy robots firing at you. If you try and do it too quickly, you can easily just take some damage from the bullets and end up falling into a pit. And the last screen is also, it requires a lot of precision to be able to get through it quickly without dying. And notriley's done that entire section there really quickly and didn't really make any mistakes at all, so good going from him. He's again going to go with the punch bag kill on Dr. X. Dr. Wily, I should say. Kumba's just taking a safe route through X2 with Jets. I don't blame him for doing, because if you try and slide on all those little platforms that you see there, you can easily end up mistiming a slide cancel or just taking a bit of damage when you're not expecting to, and end up dying. Yeah, he's taking a safe route through the stage. We'll see what sort of RNG he gets with the boss. As you can see, the boss is just moving up and down on a wall, and yeah, just depending on the path Kumba's weapon, his tomahawk weapon, is taking. Ooh, so he's actually taking death there. But yeah, that's a very RNG heavy fight. It's one of those sections where, like I said with Mechasaurus earlier, you can lose 5 to 10 seconds too. Same can be said for this fight here, depending on the type of RNG you get. Also, if you do take an unintentional death, it usually means you've got to refill your tomahawk with an extra bit of weapon energy that you weren't planning to have to pick up. We'll see if Kumba just remembers to do that. See what type of luck notriley has with Mechasaurus second time round. Like I mentioned earlier, Mechasaurus's hitbox is in his head. He's got quite a small head, you can see there. But yeah, some of the shots you'll see just bounce off his head, even though that is his hitbox. And one bounce off. Generally, what I would suggest if anyone is really struggling getting that hitbox on Mechasaurus, just fire off 2 Yamato spears at the same time. I don't know if it increases your chances of hitting him by 100%, but you definitely have a higher success rate if you just fire 2 Yamato spears on each jump, as opposed to hoping to get lucky with 1 Yamato spear. Kumba's just making his way through X3 at the moment. So again, it's got a tricky jet section to navigate here. You can see there's lots of, there's very little places for him to be able to stand. So you've got to be really precise with how he jets across these gaps. Do have a limited amount of jet energy. that enemy there, he's always trying to slice you out of the air at the last possible moment. Kumba was actually able to react to that really quickly. He managed to avoid taking that damage. That's really good reactions from Kumba there, just altering his movement on the fly. Just facing off here between with his POW suit against Matonga Z, who has one of the best names in classic Mega Man, at least in my opinion. No idea how they came up with that name. notriley now is just starting the refight. I believe he's on 38 pace. Again, it does depend on, just if he's able to execute the last couple of stages correctly or not. And just as a reminder, notriley's PB in this game is a 36-22. If you guys want to keep an eye out on that, just to see how close he can get to his PB. I believe he has a couple of minutes behind that though. I think I'm definitely mistaken. I'm not sure if Kumba's times in this game, if they're technically all PBs, because I've checked the leaderboards, he doesn't seem to have any times for any of the classic Mega Man games on there. I don't know if that means he just doesn't submit them or if he's genuine PBs. So I believe he got a 46-minute run in the first race, so we'll see if he can prove that this time round. Guys, with both of these runners, if you are enjoying their gameplay, if you want to see them play more Mega Man, because they are both very heavily Mega Man orientated speedrunners, definitely check both these runners out. Give them a follow as well. Like I say, Kumba is mainly a Mega Man ROM hack speedrunner. You'll generally be seeing him playing Mega Man ROM hacks, not the Capcom developed games. notriley4, it would be interesting to see what he's planning to do in terms of speedruns. Because, like I mentioned right at the start of the broadcast, notriley is a very proficient Mega Man 4 speedrunner. He's top 10 on the leaderboard. So, yeah, I'll be really interested to see if he decides to grind this game down at all. Because if he does, we could see another really quick time from him if he chooses to stick with the game. See what sort of RNG Riley gets off the last few Robot Masters. Yeah, so he's just got quite a few jumps from Nightman there. You generally just want him to stay on the ground, but he wasn't really in a good mood today, so he just felt like jumping around a lot. Let's see if Kumba can stop his jets in time to get to this breakable block, which he does. So, nice improvement from the previous run, where he just missed landing on that section. And the reason you want to take that route through the breakable block is just because it's a lot quicker to do that opposed to falling through the stage. Riley's just taking down Yamato Man at this point, who is his last boss battle in the refights. He's going to come out of it with a 36-42 split. Last split is usually around 110, 115, depending on the RNG you get on Wily. So he's going to be right on the cusp of getting a 37. Might be a 38 if he gets bad RNG from Wily. You see Kumba there just tackling Forest. Takes the approach I described earlier, where he just fires loads of Yamato spears at his hitbox just to ensure at least one of them hits. We've got the final boss battle now on notriley's screen. There he fires a tomahawk shot just as Wily's health is refilling. It hits him just as the second cycle begins. Timed that really well. Last few hits now for notriley. See if he's able to get that 37. GG, just in there with a 37-69. With his 36 in the first race. So, yep, really good gameplay from notriley there. Congrats to him for winning this match against Kumba. Kumba's just making his way through Wily 2, the Wily 2 boss battle at this point. So he's just got the refights after this. And then he'll be finishing it as well. Kumba is on better pace than he was last time round, even with all the deaths he had. So he may be able to get a 45 potentially on this type of pace, whereas he got 46 in the first race. So yeah, it'll be a nice little target if he can get that. Yeah, notriley is going to take this one. See if I can actually do the graphic to show he's won 2 games. There we go. You can clearly see that notriley is the winner now. So he's going to be going on to the next round of this tournament. It was a round 1 match, so it was the first races for both of these guys. Possibly a bit rusty on this game. Or maybe just didn't practice it much, who knows. But definitely the next round, which we're going to see, should be even more polished gameplay from notriley. And he's obviously going to have the opportunity to practice even more between now and his next match. I think he's going to be playing Mellow Flows in the next round. He's also a really good Mega Man 6 runner. I believe he either has the 34, like very high 34, or low 35, I can't quite recall right now. Like I said, notriley will be an underdog going into that match because he has 36-22 at the moment, which is obviously not as quick as Mellow Flow. I'm sure Riley will be putting in loads of practice between now and his next match, just to get as close as he can to Mellow Flows. And who knows, in this game, as I've mentioned a few times, a few really RNG heavy sections, which can result in a lot of unexpected time loss. You can die in places you're not expecting to die in. So yeah, even if you don't have time that's within a minute or two of your competitor, it's never really guaranteed what the result is going to be. So Kumba has another 4 Robot Masters left, I believe, at this point. The Central Man not teleports, and he just gives him 1 teleport, which is amongst the best what happens to get from the Central Man. See him switch to Yamato Spear now, take down Nightman. I believe he has exact ammo for this kill. See if he's able. Oh, he did exactly the same thing that he did first time round with Nightman. Missed his hitbox with the very last weapon ammo he had. Unfortunate, but it's not a big time loss in the grand scheme of things. So Kumba doesn't try and get the plant manipulation on Plant Man. Again, it's just a small optimization, really. You can get a pretty good time just killing him the conventional way, which Kumba does. As long as you don't make any big mistakes. And he's just going into his last Robot Master in the refights now. Just needs to be a little bit careful with his Tomahawk ammo. I don't want to miss too many shots, and as I say that, he missed about 3 or 4. He's only going to have the opportunity to refill Tomahawk once at the beginning of this Wily stage here, which isn't really going to be enough for the Wily fight. So he's going to have to resort to alternative strategies. Okay, so he pauses early enough now, so he should be able to get this weapon energy this time round. That should help him out for the Wily fights. Just got to be very precise with his shots. Doesn't want to wait. That's very clever. He actually switches to an alternative weapon to take down this enemy here, which you'd usually use Tomahawk to take down. I think he's hoping for some weapon energy now from Eddie, which he gets this time as well. I believe both times Eddie has given him the weapon energy he's been looking for. He's now got full Tomahawk going into the Wily Capsule fight. I'll say Wily Capsule, it's not really a capsule for the first cycle, or the second cycle. But yeah, looks like it's on course for a 45. Pretty good going. Let's see what type of pattern he gets from Capsule now. Spawn in any one of about 9 or 10 different locations on the screen. And GG Kumba. It's in there with a 44.51. It's an improvement of about 1.5 minutes from his first run. So that's really good going. And again, GG's to notriley as well for taking both of those races with a 36 and 37. We'll see if these guys want to do an interview. I don't know if that's something which is happening in this tournament. We'll see if that does happen or not. I've got no idea what I'm even meant to ask them, to be honest with you, so I'm fine if there isn't an interview. Yeah, guys, if you want to watch some more Mega Man 6 action, I think you just need to stick around here, because I believe we've got another race coming up in about 19-20 minutes time. And yeah, that's going to feature Tempest Mask and Asnell, I believe. That'll hopefully be another good race. So yeah, you stay on this channel, SpeedGaming 2. Like I say, we've got another Mega Man 6 race coming up very shortly. And I believe at 10 PM EST, there is the third Mega Man 6 race happening tonight between Mr. Cab and the Frame. That should be a really close race. Because you've got Mr. Cab, who has a 30, either a 36 or a 37, I believe. And Mr. Frame, who has 34. So you should see some really high-level gameplay in that match. Okay, I've just checked the race chat, and both guys have said they're going to pass on the interviews for now. So that'll be it from me for now. I hope you guys really enjoyed the races that these guys have got on for you. And yeah, I hope to see you guys back for the next race in about 15-20 minutes time.